for Brie Larson!
Hello, everyone. How's it going? Love being here with you. All right. Oh, please, come on. Let's have a chat.
No, it's just gonna be 30 minutes of them screaming their heads off for you.
Oh, really? That's an interesting way to spend your time. We can do that.
I think it would be valuable to them as well as myself. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been great to meet. I'm sure a lot of you out here I've met over the last day and a half, and that's part of why I love coming to these things. You know, something like Captain Marvel goes out in the world, and you might think that I understand what it means to you, but I don't, because I'm not there in your chat with your friends. I'm not there with you after the movie, after you walk out of the movie. So this is my time where I get to learn about how you've taken these stories and made them your own. And I really appreciate this time together.
Well, snowball question first. This may or may not be your first time in San Antonio. How's it been going for you so far?
I've eaten queso 3 to 4 times a day. Queso for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Last night I went to, I believe it was called Otto's Ice House. Not just great queso, but also a great hot dog and a soft pretzel, which are all of my favorite foods.
Glad that you're being able to get out, because I know y'all's schedules are sometimes so jam-packed, and we're really so proud of our city. And you've come on arguably the best weekend in town, because we have a lot of celebrations going on around the city. So right now, passions are high, the city is lovely, and we're just celebrating really our culture and the culture of Hispanic individuals all over. So it's wonderful.
I've noticed that. It's really beautiful. And the evenings are so nice and warm. You see everybody hanging out. It's wonderful.
You literally came on the best weekend because it was not like this temperature-wise.
Nice. That's what I like.
Or maybe we have you to thank for bringing the nice
about the
weather
California
down here.
weather with me.
Oh my gosh, you guys have it so good. You might consider, or maybe not consider, having ties to San Antonio. I once heard a story that your mom took you to see the Selena movie starring Jennifer Lopez. Any fans of Jennifer or the Selena movie? Now, that was mostly filmed here in San Antonio, so I'm not sure. You're probably aware of that.
I knew that.
And I heard that experience had a huge impact on you. How much of that do you attribute to your acting aspirations? And let's be honest, you probably haven't remained a big Selena fan since then?
Oh yeah, I just watched Selena like 4 days ago. I love Selena, and I love J-Lo. That movie was a turning point for me. My mom took me to see it in the theater, and it was when I identified what I wanted to do clearly. And I just remember going home and crying a lot and saying to my mom that that's what I wanted to do when I grew up. Be Selena.
How many of us, female or males, also had those same dreams? I want to be like Selena. Raise your hand. Make some noise. San Antonio was her second home, and my parents, because I was really too young to understand when she was around performing, kind of how much she meant to not only the city but the music itself. And so they kind of tell me, you know, what she meant and how her shows were. I've been a working musician for a long time, and so I kind of watch her live shows and take separate things from it. Everything that they did, not only her, but the band itself, they were so good and so tight as a group. And just watching her, you can just learn so much from not only singing vocally, but also the things that she would do to keep the crowd hype and energized and stuff. So literally when I'm yelling at you guys, some of that is because Selena and her band new tricks on how to keep people engaged. So you don't understand sometimes the impacts that some people have on your life, but she's one of those where like she's continuing to inspire people to this day. So I was so happy to find out that you're still a huge fan. Favorite song?
'Cause I'm dreaming.
Let's all break out in the song right now. You recently embarked on a book tour. A lot of you in the house tonight have your own copy.
Party people in the house.
Party people! Tag team is described as an entertaining cookbook with over 100 recipes for any occasion. First, what inspired you to write a cookbook with your friend Courtney McBroom? And secondly, what in the multiverse is a hot dog appreciation festival?
This book is kind of a long time coming. I grew up cooking. I come from a family that we cook all the time. Dinner together was always very important. My mom's also an event planner, so I grew up having really elaborate parties, like 2-day scavenger hunt, Indiana Jones birthday party. And so I had been thinking, the reason why I love making movies is I love bringing people together. I love having something for people to connect over. And as I was working on lessons in chemistry with my best friend, Courtney McBroom, thank you. She is a fellow Texan from Wichita Falls. And so we do have her queso recipe in the book, which is how we met 10 years ago, was over her queso. But anyway, we started working together on the show. She did all the food styling for lessons in chemistry, and we realized that what the show was saying was so in line with how we live our life, and we had been throwing so many parties over the 10 years of knowing each other that we kind of wanted to stand on a bit of a soapbox and say, like, parties deserve some mad respect, and for the people that aren't used to hosting or maybe are nervous about hosting, we wanted to create something that was a guidebook so that you could welcome people into your home and break bread. Like, it's a wonderful thing to be alive and to be together, and I'm sure you're feeling it. Like, an event like this is all about the people. Like, this doesn't exist without all of you, and that's what a dinner party is too. So that's our book, and and a hot dog festival.
Appreciation festival.
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. Courtney is actually the president and founder of the Hot Dog Appreciation Club.
That's a thing?
It's a thing. I mean, honestly, anything can be a thing, but she made it a thing. And she started a hot dog appreciation festival. This last summer was our 4th year. And it's exactly what you think. People wear hot dog paraphernalia, we grill up a lot of dogs, we do hot dog trivia, and we vote. We do a vote on if a hot dog is a sandwich. And so far, democracy is alive and well, and it is not a sandwich. It's its own thing. Thank you.
You guys agree?
To that. We can say that because Courtney's not here to defend herself.
Okay, so you are against it being a sandwich, and Courtney is for.
Yes, and it's confusing because she's the president.
Is there like a veto process? Like, what is the process to like get somebody out of that position?
Well, basically, we do the vote every year, and the idea is that, like, listen, we got a year until the next festival. We just had it a couple weeks ago. So folks who are out there sitting there stewing because they're like, it is a daggum sandwich. Now's your time. Start campaigning. Convince me otherwise. You got a year. See you at the next vote. This is democracy.
There's a great place in San Diego, so you could tell us to Courtney. Barrio Dog. Anybody ever been to Barrio Dog? No, just me. Okay. They had a Texas location for quite some time, but things happen in the economy. But they have infused different genres of cuisine, Mexican, Chinese, all these different things into their hot dogs. And so if you're ever in San Diego, find Barrio Dog, order one of like 3 or 4, and don't look at it, just eat it, and I promise you, it'll change your life. First time ever had a scrambled
Out of
egg.
context recommendation, kind of odd. Don't look at it, just eat it.
Trust me, it'll be fantastic. Can we talk about the bear?
Yeah.
I don't think they heard me. Can we talk about the bear?
Sure.
My goodness. The cameos for the show are filled with star power. They're so iconic, and from an outsider's perspective, I imagine it feels kind of like a badge of honor to be involved in the series. From an actor's perspective, what is it about this series that attracts so many individuals like yourself, and what was it like going head-to-head with Natalie Berzotto?
I think, they the show is so iconic, the characters are so iconic, and everything is so complex and nuanced and deep and real, and it's everything that you want out of a show and everything you want out of a working experience. And getting to spend a week with all of them was an absolute dream. I have to say, for a show that's so about such a dysfunctional family, it is the most loving and functional set I have ever been on in my life. They eat great food, they're kind to each other, everybody shows up completely prepared, and it's a lot of improvisation. I mean, most of the stuff I'd say that is in my episode is just stuff that we improvise. Chris would just come up to us, to me and Abby, and early on I was like, am I supposed to know exactly what our fight is about? He goes, oh no, this is about everything. And that's why if you really like watch some of our fights, even I am like, what am I talking about? What was I doing? I was talking about something about whipped cream. We didn't have cell phones then. I don't know, I was making stuff up, but it's funny. And so the idea was that Abby and I didn't talk ahead of time about, but we kind of created our own made-up list of things that we were mad at each other over, so that when the day came, we could, just try and make each other laugh, really.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I'm laughing hysterically. Also, when your face came onto the screen, I screamed loud. And I had just done that because Josh Hartnett was on it, so I screamed for him, because I'm a huge...
I screamed for him, too.
I'm a huge
Imagine keeping that
fan.
secret for a year, that's tough.
And
I actually forgot, I put on my Bear Season 3 socks that they gave me. Sorry to put my foot in your face. The scariest pair of socks I've ever owned. I was like, kept putting them on and then would leave the house before the show came out. And I was like, oh wait, no. What if somebody sees that little bit of my ankle?
You guys are fantastic, and I imagine because the two of you are hilarious and you're just barking at each other like Chip and Dale, that it must have took you guys forever to get through some of those scenes.
No, they move really fast. Super fast. Usually just like 2 takes of everything. And that's part of, it kind of is the feeling of being in Restaurant Kitchen is like when you're on that set. It's about like every second counts, be prepared, rapid fire. Yeah, you have to be ready.
You mentioned dysfunctional family. You're not unfamiliar with that. You were on one of my wife's favorite shows, United States of Tara. Anybody else? My goodness, you played Kate Gregson on the United States of Tara series. Is watching the incomparable Toni Collette go to work and bouncing between these drastic personalities firsthand better than any drama school ever?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm biased because it was my drama school. Low-key barely have a high school education, so dream big, folks. But I was 18, I just turned 18 when I got that job. I was a homeschool kid, and all I did was watch movies as I did my schoolwork, and she was my dream. She was my icon. She was, the you can't be what you can't see. She was that for me. Like, I was like, oh, I can be an interesting character actor. Like, I don't think I'm like a movie star, but I could do interesting characters forever. And so to get that opportunity to play her daughter, and then to do my first scene with her, and for her to be like, you did good. It just was amazing. So I basically got 3 years of watching, the best character actor of her generation, in my opinion, just flip between characters. And the thing that she taught me from such a young age that just stayed with me was that she doesn't like stew in a character. She's in the character and she's out. She's doing the scene and then she's dropping it and she's talking with you about what you're gonna do for dinner. And that really inspired me. I realized how cool it is to not get stuck in a character. I always thought that the actors that were like the method actors that are like, please, call me Mr. Lincoln or whatever, like that was the pinnacle. But I realized for me, I think it's really nice to be able to be so confident in what you're doing that you can go in and out and it's just fluid, no problem.
Would you ever, because I imagine there's definitely not a lot of roles where Toni is having to bounce from personality to personality, change her motivations, her emotions, her thought process on a dime. Would you ever do something like that? Is that like really challenging for you, or something you aspire to do maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking for a challenge, so, and I don't know what that next challenge will be until it comes. So, of course, anything that gives me the feeling of like, ooh, that seems really vulnerable, that seems really scary, that could go sideways, I'm like, that's probably what I should do.
Stick with that. So you like doing things that are out of your comfort zone that might be scary. For anybody who might be on the fence about something in their own life that is either scary, challenging, they're unsure of themselves, they might or may not lack self-confidence, what would you kind of give them advice about that maybe you've experienced about?
Well, for me, it's understanding why I'm resisting something or why I'm afraid of it or why it makes me nervous. There's a lot of reasons, you know. I was offered the role of Captain Marvel, and I was really nervous about saying yes to it. And I had to sit down I literally sat down with a piece of paper and wrote down why it made me so scared to say yes. And what I realized in doing that was it had nothing to do with Carol, it had nothing to do with the film or the opportunity itself. I was really an introvert, and I was very worried about all the things that would come after. I was worried about lack of privacy. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to have a voice or I'd have stage fright doing something like this. And I felt like I'd let people down, and I wouldn't be a person anymore if I did it. And once I broke it down, I was able to go, okay, looks like I need a therapist. And I was able to say, okay, well, I know when this movie's coming out. I got a couple years, so that gives me 3 years of a runway to figure out what matters to me in my life, what I'm gonna protect, what's gonna be private for me, and to also make sure that I always have the right to go to the grocery store, I have the right to go to an art museum, because I wanna keep playing real human beings that you relate to for the rest of my life. And for me, the only way I feel like I can do that is if there are parts of my life where I just get to be, you know, the person that's like annoying you in line. Like, I want the right to be that, you know? So once I was able to figure that out, I was able to do the thing that I love and take the big bite that I was afraid to take. So I'm gonna use this, my specific example, whatever that is for you, but I'd say if you can break down what it is that makes you scared, you can understand, okay, what are the parts of this that I can actually work with? And what are the parts that are just like, okay, actually this is a no? It really helps me make decisions.
Welcome to the Church of Brie. Can we talk about the room? Hold for applause. I remember watching The Room, not The Room, but The Room movie for the first time. I watched it with my spouse, and I went through a feeling that I rarely feel. I've watched millions of movies, as many of you have, but there's certain movies that come along, usually indie projects, that really surprise me and not only surpass my expectations, but move me, either mentally, spiritually, what you will. Memento was the first indie film that did that for me. Any Memento fans in here? I watched that and I thought, what an achievement. And so watching Room, I also had that very same experience. I was just blown away, not only by your performance, but the concept and the kind of the tricks or the filming style, just everything worked seamlessly. And so with that experience, for you, it demanded such an intense emotional vulnerability. What was your process stepping into the role of Joy, especially portraying trauma and resilience, and how did that experience shape your approach for future roles?
I never prepped for a project the same way after Room, because I don't actually think I was very kind to myself in that preparation, so I'm hesitant to even get too into it. But the good thing that I did was I worked with a trauma specialist. So every week I'd sit down with this incredible man named Dr. Brie, and he explained to me about how trauma is placed in the brain, how it shows up in our lives. And the biggest gift he gave me from those conversations was understanding that if you are in a stressful situation, you can't process the stressful situation until you're out of it. So for those of you, if you've ever gone through something and it's not until maybe weeks later that you're like, oh my God, you're having a panic attack, that's normal. That's your brain being like, I'm safe now and I can now process this. So in doing that, it really helped us be able to track the story. We filmed the movie in order. It's the only time I've ever done that. We normally film things completely out of order. And so with that, we were able to kind of track it and create this shift that I think neither one of us could have expected until having that conversation with Dr. Brie, that you would originally, I would have thought that Joy was having a hard time in the room, but really she was too much in it. She had to be strong for her son, strong for herself. She almost had to numb herself to what that feeling was until she was back home in a safe place. You would think the safe place is where you would finally feel good, but that's when you actually have to deal with what's happened.
Profound. Right? Gotta get into this one. Any fans of Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Is Scott Pilgrim like on a new streamer or something? Because I'm just wondering, because there was just like a lot more Scott Pilgrim fans this time around. Does anybody know why? Is it just with more time? Like Envy Adams was alive and well at SpaceCon. That's all I have to say.
If you're looking for another reason other than it's just an iconic film, I don't know if you're gonna find one.
Yeah.
But it's just, it holds up. It's still relevant. It's still iconic to, I think, folks. And Edgar is one of my favorite directors because of it. Because when you watch an Edgar movie, you know it's Edgar behind the camera. You know, it's fantastic. Your role as Envy Adams in Scott Pilgrim versus the World is iconic. I've already said it. The film itself involves so many young, talented individuals who have gone to win multiple awards and have lasting careers. What was it like stepping into that musical, exaggerated world? And what are some of your fondest memories working on what I would consider the Dazed and Confused movie of our generation? And I'll explain in a second.
I just have really good memories of it. I think I was only like 19 when we did that movie, which is very odd to me. I must have been 19, 20, 19, 18, something like that. Obviously, we didn't know what we were doing at the time, or you're just kind of on the ride of Edgar's ride and Edgar's vision. It was the biggest film I'd ever been on, the biggest sets I'd ever been on. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, he built a pyramid, this is crazy. There was a lot of people that I really looked up to on that set, and there were a lot of people that were like new, just like me. I remember auditioning for it and saying to Edgar, it was like basically the night before that I figured out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to make this voice and this character, but I was too embarrassed to even run lines with my boyfriend in that voice. I was like, this is probably gonna crash and burn. And so I said to Edgar before I even started, I was like, well, if I'm gonna hear you laugh, you're either laughing at me or with me, but it worked out great. And still friends with everybody. We still are on an email thread, you know, good times.
Fans, right? I'll go into my little spiel. I'll make this quick. I interviewed a bunch of the cast of Dazed and Confused for their 30th anniversary, which was, I think, last year. And Mia Jovovich said, every generation has a Dazed and Confused, where they bring together a group of young actors, many of which are acting for their first time. Like if you go ask, or if you find out the Dazed and Confused cast, say that 4 times fast, a lot of them were just picked off the street of Austin, Texas. No acting experience, just somebody walking down Austin saying, you want to be in a movie? And so some of those individuals have gone on to be massive stars. And I think Scott Pilgrim is my generation's Dazed and Confused. You guys are also talented. You've had long-lasting careers, award winners, Oscar winners, Emmy winners. And so, yeah, I just consider it like our generation's Dazed and Confused. There you go.
Thank you.
I didn't write this down, but please let us know, like, what is something you remember from working on your scenes? You had to perform. Everybody loves your song. What's some of the fondest memories of actually performing on the set of Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
I think the thing I remember the most is that those boots were like custom sewn. They had to be like sewn onto my legs. So, you know, once they got put on, they had to cut them off. I had to wear those all day. I I think I blacked out while I was performing as Envy, honestly. I don't think I knew what the heck I was doing, just feigning confidence and with a prayer.
All right, because I'm old and because I forget things easily, who was on bass? I can see his face in your band.
You're asking me?
Yes.
Is this a trivia night? What's
It's not a
happening?
trivia night.
Tennessee Thomas was the drums.
No, actor. Say it again? No, Superman.
Ralph.
Brandon
Brandon
Ralph.
Ralph.
Brandon Ralph.
My vegan boyfriend.
Yes. Is Brandon, this is a very serious question, folks, is he the sweetest guy on the planet?
Yes.
I just wanted to confirm that.
Confirm?
Absolutely. Let's talk about Captain Marvel. Is that okay? Most recently, the Marvels, working on the Marvels involved a major shift to bring a solo lead and Captain Marvel to collaborating closely with two newer characters. How did that dynamic challenge you as an actor? And please tell us one of your most favorite moments working on the set with Iman Vellani and Teyana Paris.
What was the first part of the question? The challenge or memory? Just a memory.
Challenges of changing and shifting from your own solo to being a part of an ensemble.
Honestly, it was something that Kevin and I had talked about from the beginning, which was my very first conversation about Captain Marvel. So I was like, whoa, we have to bring in Miss Marvel like ASAP. Like, she's such a great character and such an important part of the legacy and story of Captain Marvel. But the other thing that we talked about a lot after the first film was I was like, it's great that Captain Marvel is so efficient, and also I think it's an important message for people to realize that even the best of us have limitations and not one person can do everything. And I was like, I as a human being don't want to feel like I'm the difference between the world like collapsing and being alive again, like we need everybody. Like it takes all of us and all of our superpowers to make this planet what it is. And so that felt like a great way to kind of, you don't want like a character that has no flaw and can do, like, it got to the point where I was like, well, if Captain Marvel's in a fight, she's gonna win every single time. Every time. And so it felt like her biggest challenge then would be learning how to lean on other people. And I think that's real. I think if you're a real can-do person, it can be really hard to like trust someone else. And in this case, you're trusting two women that you have like your heart is connected to. It's like they're her sisters. And so it feels really vulnerable and you want to step in, but every time she tries to step in, they literally switch places and the other person has to handle it. So I thought that the whole metaphor of it was really, just really special and incredible. And I really liked sharing that type of responsibility with them.
We love you too, right guys? Mom was here, it was either last year, she was here last year, and we quickly found out she's one of us.
Oh, honey, she is so you.
Please share with us why you agree.
Why I agree? Where do I begin? How do I count the ways? That girl knows everything. She was like the one that was constantly like giving script notes, being like, yeah, sorry, but according to comic, blah, 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 this wouldn't work. And we were like, okay, I don't read every single one, but thank you. Like because it's not just that she knows Miss Marvel, it's that she knows like everything. And so she really is that character in that way. And to have that type of like, she's so good, she's such a talented actress, but she's such a wonderful person, and she's so grounded, and I have so many incredible memories with her. I mean, you gotta have great memories when you're like literally on wires flying through the air with someone, just getting wedgies together, just enjoying your life. But she got really into crocheting and she crocheted me a bandana, and I really appreciate that. I still wear it. Yeah, she's very multi-talented.
Yeah, we absolutely adore her. Fun fact, after she was done with her autographs last year, all she did was walk around the show floor and look at comics. That's what
Yes,
she is.
I would bet money on that, of course.
Absolutely. Well, listen, this has been absolutely spectacular. If you guys have any questions for Brie, do not hesitate. to go meet her at her booth, please do that. We cannot wait to see you sometime, hopefully very soon, back on the big screen, wearing your outfits, also teaming up with Aman Vellani. Let's do that again, shall we? San Antonio, make some noise for the one, the only